flustered. So I went to Tony. I said, Tony, I'm sorry. No hard feelings. Thanks for getting me started. But this company over here, Bet-O-Dog, is where it's at. Little does he know I'm Bet-O-Dog. So I started this Bet-O-Dog. And I remember I started with such a small amount, and I was scared, and I was like, fuck, I'm taking bets I shouldn't be taking. You know, guys are betting 20,000, 10% of my nest egg, and I'm like, man, it's just gonna take one bad week, and I'm gonna be wiped out. And I remember it was NFL in the first couple weeks, boom, 300,000 I collected, 400,000. Next thing you know, my business started to expand. And everyone's talking about Bet-O-Dog giving 20% off the losses. And if you paid me on Monday, I'd give you a free play of 5% of whatever you lost. So if you lost 100, I'd give you 5,000 in free play. Because free play is like crack, you know, here's a little rock, smoke it, and you're gonna want more. So you give them that free play, they play it, they lose it, obviously, and then they chase all the whole week. So it's like giving a crackhead just a little rock and say, here you go, buddy, this is on me. You know he's gonna come back. So that's what I did in the gambling business, and I learned that if you treat your customers like Las Vegas does, you know, you entertain them, you provide them a nice dinner, you get them drinks, you take them out with some beautiful chicks, guess what? They're always going to come back because they like that experience. And I provided this Las Vegas experience that no one was providing in LA. I brought Vegas to you. So if I had NFL players that were playing on the road, I'd bring my crew. I'd have some hot girls. I'd have a VIP host. I'd have the sports book. Oh, you want to bet on blackjack today? No problem. I have an online casino now that has blackjack that is a live dealer. So you don't have to go to Vegas. It's live. You're seeing the person right there in front of you on your site, on your computer. You can tip them. You want a dollar extra, have her take her top off. She's in Costa Rica. She takes her top off for a dollar extra on each hand. So the business is starting to boom. People are talking about, man, he's got dealers with their tops off. He's giving 20% off on free play. He's giving you 5% free play, 20% off your losses. Everyone's like, man, Bet-O-Dog, Bet-O-Dog. I became this international name. And it just snowballed. It got so big, I started taking bets from Mexico. I started taking bets in Peru, Costa Rica. I went international, Australia. And I remember I had this agent that lived in Orange County. And he says, I got a VIP customer that's going to deal with all cash. He's like clockwork, but he wants big limits. I'm like, well, you trust him? He goes, oh, I trust him. And you got to remember, I was so ambitious at the time. I was willing to take anything. I had big balls. I didn't care how much. You wanted to bet $500,000 on the Super Bowl. I was going to figure out a way to take the bet, even if I was going to offset it with my old company, where I could take half the bet and bet the other half over here. I wanted that person that was betting with me to feel like I was the man the whole time, so they would never leave. So if the guy said, I want to bet $500,000 on a Super Bowl game, guess what? I'm going to take the $500,000 bet, but little does he know that I'm laying off half of it over here with a bigger outfit. So I just started to provide that service, and this agent of mine, which is a sub-bookie, he had a lot of clientele out of Mexico. And he said, I got a client. He's a bad motherfucker. He pays, but he expects the same. I said, bring him. You know? He's like, he's VIP. I said, I've heard it before, bring him. Like, I'm not worried about it. VIP, what's that mean? Like, we got to wine and dine him? Like, whatever we got to do. So the first week, the guy loses $250. He brings a duffel bag. Boom. I gave him his half. I think it was $200 or $250. It was around that number. I gave him his 50% commission because this was a big agent. He had like 75 players with me. Next week, same thing. He loses, I think, like $300,000-400,000. Boom. Give the agent his half. I take my half. And this guy's just a donkey. He can't hit the side of a barn. You know, he can't win a sports bet. So we're like, you got a VIP client, man. Whatever he wants, let him know. If he wants to come to Medeo, Mr. Childs, we got him. Like, what does he want to do? He's like, no, he's not coming to the U.S. So I'm thinking, who is this guy? Finally, he wins. He cracks me. He gets a 5-team parlay on a Sunday night. He needed the Raiders. And we go to pay him out. It was like $225 or $250. I called the agent. I said, buddy, get here Sunday night. Your guy's going to win. And guess what? I need you here. I got the duffel bag ready. I want you to pay him on Monday morning, 8 a.m. right when he wakes up. This is no exceptions. So he comes and I give him the bag. I said, please do this. This is what our name is about. If we pay a customer on Monday, he's going to forever gamble with us because paying him. No one does that in the sports betting industry. Usually a guy slow pays you and waits till Thursday to pay you because he wants to collect all the money from the losers. So I made sure he paid him. Come Monday, he pays him. Boom, he's like, dude, my uncle was so happy. I said, your uncle? He goes, yeah, I didn't tell you, but that's my uncle. And he was so happy. I said, well, that's good. He was so happy he wanted me to give you this phone. I'm like, a phone? It was an encrypted BlackBerry. I said, what's this? He said, there's no microphone, there's no GPS. He says, it's just connected to my uncle's server. I'm like, oh boy, what have I gotten myself into? He said, my uncle's so happy he wants to communicate with you, but he's only going to communicate with you on this. I looked at it, BlackBerry, huh? So I'm opening it. Here's the password. You give me a piece of paper and I enter the password.
The fantasy team is cooked. Guess I'm out for the season.
Hey, you don't have to wait until next season. With PrizePicks, pick more or less on players whenever you want. Download the PrizePicks app and get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 round.
Cover your hands. Reduce the risk. Find solutions here and get products now. Call, clickgranger.com, or just stop by.
Granny Arrow uses AI to build websites that manage appointments from different places online. So I can focus.
And the first line was, well, I like how you work. I'm like, oh boy, we're speaking Spanish now. So I said, oh, muchas gracias. You know, I'm a Latino ladies my whole life. I know how to speak Spanish. So I said, oh, muchas gracias, mucho gusto, senor. You know, nice to meet you. I said, me llamo Owen. Yo soy de Los Angeles, un poqui de betodog.com. He's like, well, you do great business. He says, you have a lot of money in the United States, I can tell. You pay me like clockwork. He's telling me this, like I paid him on time. And yeah, that's how I run my business. You know, I'm very punctual. I do things the right way. You know, I'm explaining this to him. And he says, listen, I have an offer for you. He says, I have stash houses all throughout the United States. I need money dropped off here sometimes. I need it over in San Bernardino. I have a stash house in Corona. I have people in North Carolina that work for me. I'm thinking, okay, what do you need? He's like, sometimes I need like 50, 100,000 over here. I'm like, oh, that's easy. I got agents throughout the United States now. BetOdog's international, but nationwide mostly. So for me, it's just a phone call. Like, hey Johnny, can you drop off 50,000 in North Carolina at the Starbucks? Yes. Every time I dropped off money for, we'll call him El Jefe. Every time I dropped off money for El Jefe, he would give me 10% of whatever I dropped off. So I'm making 10% a day, Mark. If I drop off 100,000, guess what? I just made $10,000 for doing nothing. I mean, what bank pays you that? So next thing you know, I'm helping this guy. I don't care. He's losing so much money. Like, I'll do whatever he wants. He's the VIP. I'm helping him. I'm helping him drop off money here, there. He's happy. He's loving the way I handle things. You know, I'm this ambitious kid, 24 years old at the time. And the $1 million question came up. And he says, hey, can you pick up some money for me? I'm like, wait a minute, I just dropped off money. And he says, can you pick up some money? I have some money in Brownsville, Texas. He says, my organization's not allowed over there, so I need you to pick it up if you could. He goes, same deal, 10%. I'm like, okay, $1 million. That's $100,000. Simple math. This is business 101, right? What do I gotta do? He goes, you gotta figure it out. That's on you. So I call my private jet company. He says, $2,500 now. Okay, it's 4 hours there, 4 hours back. Okay. So that's 10, that's 20, okay. Now I probably need some security. Let me call my boy Tank, who's a Crip from Avalon. I'll get him, and he's got some UFC fighters. I was telling him to grab one of those. So I said, okay, I need you and your boy from the UFC, that guy Diego. I said, you guys, come along. This is all in the book, so, you know, I want to give this to you because it's such a great story. And Tank goes, how much are we getting paid? I said, $2,000. You and Diego each make $2,000. So I'm okay, I'm in at 20,000 plus two, okay, I'm in at 24,000, right? I'm like, that's $76,000 profit. I said, that's not bad for a day, right? So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I remember I fly in Brownsville, Texas, and I'm in this King turboprop, and the pilot's like, all right, how long are you gonna be, guys? I was like, oh, no, we're going right back. Just give me an hour. So I go, I get off the plane, and I meet one of El Jefe's workers, and he brings me that duffel bag, and I'm like, okay, better get out of here now. I don't know where I'm at, but this is rival territory, he said. So, you know, we got on the plane, and I told El Jefe, I'm on my way back. Where do you want this dropped off? And I remember landing in that Torrance airport, and I paid my workers, and I said, thanks for the ride to the pilot, paid him in cash, and told El Jefe, where do you want it dropped off? And he gave me an address, and within 15 minutes, I dropped it off, and I got the message with a thumbs up, like, thank you. And I just, you know, I made $76,000 in one day, and I was like, wow, that was